Hello everyone. I'm going to take a few moments out to record a little video message and to walk you through what we're calling the Rainbow Project, and how that is going to enable us to help staff to connect to learners via mobile phones with none of the disadvantages of cost and inconvenience, or any of those things that have gone before, with staff having to use their own mobile phones, but not being compensated for and not having any of the resources to do it properly. So I'm going to talk through why we're doing it, how it works, and hopefully that will give you an awareness of what's coming along and how it's going to help. So here we've tried to get the whole Rainbow initiative onto a single page to explain it as succinctly as possible. So why do we need a Rainbow project? Well, staff need to be able to call learners, on their mobile phones or landlines even, without showing the personal mobile number of the caller if staff are using a personal mobile phone, or seeing a blank, because if it is possible to make a call and blank number, but learners don't want to receive calls with a blank caller ID. So naturally in the past we've asked about whether we can solve that by giving out works mobile phones, but as I hope you'll see by the end of this short presentation, Rainbow does all of that and more besides, without having to give an additional device out. It does it all as a piece of software. So how are we going to do it? We're going to provide a new app, a new smartphone app that will enable all of this to happen magically behind the scenes. And the what is that this app is called Rainbow. It installs on a personal mobile phone, and it means that all the costs are picked up by the college. It doesn't cost a staff member anything, and it's a college mobile phone number that the student sees when a call is made. So on the coming slides, we just explain that in a little bit more detail. So how does all this magic work then? Well, the first stage is it needs installing and configuring, and that's fairly straightforward. A staff member will go onto the Apple Store or the Google Play Store, download the Rainbow app and install it on their personal mobile phone. And also behind the scenes, IT will associate the Rainbow app on the staff member's personal mobile with a college landline extension number. For instance, the one on my phone is associated with the Lincoln code 876265. So that's the installation and configuration complete. The next step is calling a learner. So rather than pressing the phone button on the smartphone, on the personal smartphone, a member of staff will start the Rainbow app, and then the staff member calls the learner using a keypad in the same way, but via Rainbow. And then when the learner sees the call coming through on their mobile phone, they get to see the Lincoln College caller ID as the caller, not the personal phone that the staff member used to make the call. So then the third process is when a learner wants to call a staff member. So the learner will call the associated landline number. So in my case, they call 01522 876265. That call would be redirected behind the scenes to the Rainbow app that the staff member would be logged onto, and then the staff member would receive the call, and it would all happen at zero cost. So however many calls the staff member takes and receives on their mobile phone, there'll be no cost. It will all be attributed to the college call costs. So what are the advantages of the Rainbow solution then? So staff can continue to use their own mobile phones, but at genuinely zero cost. All the costs come straight out of the college phone bill. The caller ID that the learner sees is a college landline number that's associated with the staff member. It also means that you get all the advantages of having to use facilities provided by the college, but you don't have to carry two mobiles around with you. You can just do it all on the one phone, on your own phone. So also staff can choose when to sign off of Rainbow. So if it's 6 o'clock at night and you finish working, you can log out of Rainbow and you won't get calls from learners in the middle of the night if anybody phones up out of hours, or you can choose to stay logged in if you wanted to take the calls. And another advantage, which is certainly an advantage for me and for IT, and not necessarily for you as the direct users of Rainbow, is that the approach of buying a lot of cheap mobile phones and handing them out to staff, it seems like an easy solution to the problem, but actually we hold some cybersecurity certification called Cyber Essentials, and we have to hold that because otherwise we don't get paid for delivering to learners and we can't bid for new work. So it's quite an important piece of certification. And if we give out lots of mobile phones, unless there's a huge amount of time, effort and cost involved in controlling those mobile phones centrally, we're not compliant and we lose our certification. So that won't be an advantage to you as a user, but it certainly is an advantage to the wider college, and we certainly we want to get paid when we deliver to learners. So that's one that I focus on quite heavily. So I hope you can see from this brief overview of why we're doing the Rainbow change and how it works and what's in it for you, that without issuing additional physical mobile phones, using a clever piece of software and some things that happen in the server room behind the scenes, you get all the advantages of having an additional phone. It solves all the problems with caller IDs. It solves the problems with staff members having to, if they use their own phone and they go over the limit, and it's cost them some money to make the calls. That will never happen in this solution. And it also solves some of the other issues around IT security that we have to be aware of. If there is one disadvantage, it's that we're working really quickly to get this solution up and built, and all the signs are it'll be ready for the start of term. So we're pulling out all the stops to get it ready, and once it is ready, if it lives up to its billing, and from what we've seen, we're confident it will, it should sweep aside all the issues that we've had with staff mobile phones and the need to contact learners. So we'll be working with you in the coming couple of weeks to get this up and working, and then to make sure it's a success. So I really hope it works as well as it appears it will. So thanks for listening, and we look forward to moving this forward with you all. Thank you.